A popular Seattle rooftop bar has been reimagined. Frolik Kitchen and Cocktails just reopened last week atop the Hilton Motif Hotel, and it has a whole new menu. And joining me now is brand new executive chef Angel Wapaya. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
What are we making today? You already have something going.
Yes, so today we're going to make our steamed mussels and clams new on the menu. It's going to be on our fall menu here. So what I've already started here is the shallots and garlic. If you would like, you can put in the mussels and clams.
Okay, just dump and go.
Yep, just dump and go. Perfect.
I can already smell all the garlic and it's smelling delicious. Fresh ingredients important, yes. I'm sure, on this fall menu.
Yes, it is. So we do partner up with local vendors here. We do get local mussels and clams, Little Neck clams and Penn Cove mussels. So I added a little bit of tomatoes here. And what we're going to do now is just saute it up a little bit. And then do a little bit of spin here. If you'd like, you can add some white wine here.
Oh, yes. How much, chef, goes in here?
I would say half of that. I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay, please. Oh, no. Oh, no. The drama.
Okay.
I've made a mess.
There you go, right there. Perfect.
It was the sound. Were you listening for the sound?
Yes, I was. Okay. Yes, I was.
I'm getting better in the kitchen, minus the mess.
So what we're going to do here, we're just going to let it steam for a couple of minutes.
Couple minutes. What inspired you with this new menu? Because you brought some delicious items. What all did you bring?
Yes, so right now we're going into fall season, right? So the restaurant in particular, we like to go local, very seasonal as well. So again, we do partner up with a lot of local vendors here in Seattle, as well as trying to keep it seasonal. So here we have our Dungeness crab cakes here. So on the bottom of our Dungeness crab cakes here, we have our lime aioli, espelette pepper, and green oil. Here we have our salmon chowder. With the salmon chowder, you do have Ora King salmon here as well. And you also have salmon roe on top of that, and also fried leeks.
Jeez, yes. Okay. And then what's over here? This is so pretty.
Again, so we're in the fall season, right? Yes. So beets is a fall ingredient. So you have beets three ways. You have roasted beets, you have shaved candied beets, and you also have beet puree. So here you have, and you also have Bing cherries. We know Bing cherries is local in Pacific Northwest. So we do candied our Bing cherries as well, and you also have coconut cream. This dish is completely 100% vegan, so anyone that wants a vegan dish, it's right there for you.
You have options for people. I love this question for you, Chef. What is one thing on the menu right now that if people go to Frolik, you're like, you absolutely have to get this?
For me in particular, I would say the salmon chowder. I think because it's very unique, it's different than any other chowder, I would say. Another reason why is because for us, we get whole salmon. So when we have another salmon entree dish on our menu. But with this, we also make with the whole salmon, we fillet our salmon. We use the carcasses of the bones of the salmon to make our own salmon stock to make our salmon chowder.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna do a little taste. I don't want to ruin your pretty dish there.
No, it's okay. You can dig right in.
dig right in. You did say I had to try it. What else can people expect when they come? Because Frolik was completely reimagined and reopened. So what all happened?
Yeah, so they did a complete whole new renovations from the outdoor patio, from the inside. Outdoor patio is going to be beautiful. It overlooks Seattle, downtown Seattle as well. And inside,
look at that.
Yes, it's very beautiful in the inside, as outside as well. From the chandelier lights as well, so it's very beautiful. The whole renovations was completely different from gutted inside out.
That looks completely different because I've been to Frolik quite a few times, and that looks like a whole renovation. And I'm so excited to go in person. How excited are you two to be the new executive chef?
I'm very excited. This opportunity came about. I was very excited to come here back to Seattle. I'm actually from a little bit Seattle. I lived here 10 years ago.
Okay, what part?
I lived in Auburn area. I went to high school in Auburn Mountain View.
Okay.
But then I moved here. I also went to Le Cordon Bleu here in Seattle. Then I moved here 2015, then just came back this year, literally 10 years ago. So from now. So I took this opportunity and I'm very excited to be back here.
Oh, it's amazing when an opportunity brings you back home too.
Yes.
And that's amazing. Okay, how are our mussels doing? I'm hearing some sounds. How are we looking?
So we're looking. So you see how it's opening up a little bit?
I do see that.
So we do need a little bit more time.
Okay, fabulous.
From there.
And talk to me, you said fall menu. That's what we're focused on right now, but it's changing seasonally?
Yes, so we're going to do, every 4 seasons, we're going to change the menu. So we're about to go into, yes, guests will have the fall menu now, but in mid-December, we will be changing it to a winter menu as well. So while they still can enjoy it now because it's only the fall season menu, you have about a month and a half left. I'd say 2 months.
Are all of these items then like only going to be on for the fall? Or
Yes,
is anything
I
a
think
staple?
the only thing that will be our staple will be the salmon chowder.
And I must say, that was delicious. Different, like
Yes,
not your
yes,
typical
yes.
chowder for
Yes,
sure.
definitely.
Very, very good.
Yes.
Okay, what are some tips for people at home cooking mussels and clams? What should we be looking for? What should we be doing?
So the tip would be, if you do grab mussels and clams, try to get them as fresh as possible, wherever you're getting them from, either Pike Place Market, a seafood vendor, get them fresh. And then from there, I would cook them the day of. And then the trick with mussels and clams is that you need to steam them like we're currently doing now, and to make sure that they're still alive, that if they're closed. So if you touch them and they tap and they close, that means they're still alive.
Oh,
but if they
gosh.
stay open before cooking, that means they're dead. So I would throw them out.
You would?
Yes, if they're open before you cook them.
Oh, wow. And this is an interesting, I've seen a lot of chefs do something like this, but like you're not using the typical like lid.
Yes.
Why is this
Well, because this helps a dome. This makes a dome, as you
More
can
of a
see the
dome.
steam coming in and out, right?
Yeah.
So this will actually help it a lot more to steam the whole inside of what we're about to make the sauce for.
Okay, and what is in the sauce? What can
So
we look
right
forward
now,
to?
once we're done with this, we're gonna add a little bit of butter. We're gonna add house-made basil pesto, and we're gonna add ají amarillo paste, which is a Peruvian pepper.
I was gonna ask what that is.
Yes.
Okay. Did you always love to get into cooking? Where does this passion come from?
Yeah, so I mean, the passion comes from, to be honest, it's my mother. My mom was always the cook around the family. Every time we had family gatherings, she was always the one in the kitchen. And she always made me help her. At that time, I was like, I don't want to help you. But it got, it kind of makes memories with her. Growing up as a child, it made me realize, like, oh, this is something I'd like. And then out of high school, I went to culinary school. And then from there, my career kind of just took off. I jumped from place to place. Once I graduated culinary school here, I actually worked at Orcas Island in the San Juan Islands for 4 years before I went to the West Coast.
We're so happy you're now here in our kitchen. We have about a minute left, so,
okay, so
how are we looking?
So here, what we're gonna do.
Oh, I see they're all open. Look at all that juice.
Yes.
You can smell the white wine, the garlic, it's all working.
So then here, now we're just gonna add some butter.
Lots of butter.
Butter always makes things taste better.
I think butter always makes everything better,
Yes,
to
I
be
agree.
honest.
Some basil pesto.
Homemade.
Yes.
Worth it for the homemade instead of out of a
Yes.
jar like I do, probably with
And
Costco.
then ají amarillo paste. This is gonna give it a little bit of a kick.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever tried that. I'm excited.
And
So we
then
melt that all down, I
Yep.
imagine, with the butter
a
and
little
everything.
bit of salt, pinch of pepper. And while this is going, we're gonna have our bowl here. And
Yes.
if you'd like, you can put some of these in here in the bowl.
Okay, I got you.
Perfect.
Here we go. I can't believe this is something everyone can get at the restaurant too.
Yes,
It's
yes.
so Pacific Northwest.
It
the
really
vibe
is,
with
yes.
the tomatoes, everything.
So that is the goal for the menu itself. We really want it to be Pacific Northwest feel.
Right.
So it is very seafood heavy. Again, you have Dungeness crab, you have mussels and clams, you have
have
Ora
the
King
salmon.
salmon. Yes. So that's what we're trying to do. Also, what we're going to do, we're going to serve this. We serve this in the restaurant with 4 grilled baguettes.
Alrighty.
Okay, so then
I say
here.
pour it on. I gotta try.
All right. So then here, pour a little bit of this sauce.
Okay, I'm going in. And while I'm tasting,
Hold on, let me give
what
you
kind of
this.
flavors can I taste in here?
So you should be able to taste the fresh mussels and clams.
Mm-hmm.
You should also be tasting, oh, sorry, I forgot to remind you guys. So we actually do grow our own micros.
Oh, perfect.
So that is one thing that we do here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much,
Of
Angel.
course,
That was
thank
so
you.
good.